Hi again, everybody. It's Kevin Knesset coming to you from the newsroom of The Observer and TheObserver.com on this, the 12th day of February in the year 2024. Sure glad you joined us tonight. I'm joined by my dear friend Tony Mondaro of the Harrison Weather Center, and it looks like we may get a little bit of snow today. Good evening, Tony.
Good evening, Kevin. Looks like a busy night ahead here at the Weather Center as we track the storm.
So what is it looking like? Just tell it like it is so that people get the actual forecast as opposed to the bull on the news.
Oh, absolutely, Kevin. The National Weather Service has issued a winter storm warning for the area through tomorrow for snow. Just to take it right from the top, it looks like we'll have the clouds further increase and thicken tonight with rain moving in probably between 9 p.m. and 12 midnight. It rains all night. So, if you're getting up early to go to work tomorrow or head out to travel, just wet roads at that time. Now, when rush hour starts tomorrow at 6, 7, 8 o'clock, we're going to start to transition over to a mix of rain and snow. It can be a little bit of sleet in there as well. After that happens, we think by mid to late morning we'll be snowing heavily, where we could, if we get into the snow zone, the heavy snow zone, could be anywhere from 1 to 2 to perhaps even 3 inches an hour. But it's going to be a very narrow corridor where that happens. So tomorrow morning, if you get up and you see it snowing very heavily, you know we're in that zone. If it's snowing lightly, then you know that we're not in that zone. So that's one way to tell. Also, our guidance tells us too, if we do get lighter snows tomorrow, that the road temperatures are going to be pretty warm. So it's going to have to snow pretty heavily for snow to collect on the roadways, because roadway temperatures will be in the mid-30s tomorrow when it's lightly snowing. And I don't care what anybody tells you, Kev, when you have about sun angles and the time of the year, if it snows heavy, it's going to collect on the roads no matter what temperature it is, if it's snowing 2 to perhaps 3 inches an hour. So we're thinking if the storm pulls out of here and as it intensifies, and don't be surprised if you hear some thunder tomorrow too. That's another way to tell that we could be intensifying with the storm as well as pulling offshore. We think by mid-afternoon, the storm will be pulling east. Now, as far as terms of accumulations, we're thinking at least 3, as much as 6, even if we don't get into that heavy snow zone. So between 3 and 6 inches of snow should verify. Now, if we get into that heavy snow zone, how long does it last? Does it last for an hour or 2, 3 or 4 hours? If that happens, we could be looking at the end of the event, between 6 and 12 inches of snow. That makes a big difference, especially I think for salting or plowing, things starting to get shut down around the area when we, get north of that 8-inch, 9, 10-inch mark. And remember, we haven't had this type of snow for a long time. Can the forecast bust and not snow at all? Highly unlikely. We're going to get some snow out of this. I think at least 3 inches of snow, and roads can get kind of treacherous tomorrow, especially late in the morning if that heavier snow is realized in the area. Now, as far as tomorrow night, things clear out. Anything that's untreated will refreeze. If you have salt, in the moisture, it's hard to refreeze with temperatures in the upper 20s. So anything treated should be fine, but anything untreated would refreeze any moisture on the road. So be careful of that. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all sunny days, fair nights, high temperatures in the chilly 30s, and overnight low temperatures in the 20s. Now, Saturday we were 59 degrees. This is going to help, and we were near 50 today. But remember, folks, some of our biggest snowstorms we've ever had have come the day before when temperatures have been in the upper 40s and low 50s. So it really doesn't make a difference. Also, besides the winter storm warning, our friends at the National Weather Service up in New York has also issued a coastal flood advisory. However, I think that they will be minor overtops of people who live along Rogers Boulevard in Harrison, also First Street in Harrison. And if you live in a flood-prone area, I don't think we don't have too much to worry about. It's moving pretty quick. Main storm redevelops off the Delmarva in the morning, and then heads out. Remember now, if you hear thunder tomorrow, that means we may be in that sweet zone for some pretty heavy snowfall.
If you're just joining us, Tony Mondaro of the Harrison Weather Center is here with us. And you yourself even just mentioned earlier that it looks like it may be the first significant storm in a couple of years. For people who have maybe forgotten about that, what should they do in preparation of tomorrow? Are there certain steps that should be taken beforehand to be ready, Tony?
Yeah, I would think so. I would think too. Common sense. If you can take the day off from work, if you don't have to be on the road, don't go into work. Take that sick day or vacation day or whatever day, because you're not really worried about yourself, but you're worried about other drivers. You're worried about and don't get me wrong. North Arlington and Kearney do a tremendous job with the hills. And I know that some road departments are even standing by overnight in the local area waiting for this to come in. To be honest with you, it's going to be rain overnight. We're pretty sure of that. I think tomorrow morning, 6, 7, 8 o'clock, is when we start changing over to snow. And the places will change over first. There'll be places like in northern New Jersey and then spread down. It'll be the snow change will start from north to south. But as the moisture is working its way, we were just, before we got on the air, we were saying, it's just starting to rain now in Philly, and it'll be starting to rain over the next hour in Trenton. So the rain, the precipitation, the rainfall is on cue. A wet night, a hazardous day with snow and ice tomorrow. So yeah, common sense, use your head. If you have to get any last minute preparations done, you have all night to do it. There's all night pharmacies around. There's all night supermarkets around. If you look, do a Google search on the internet and get supplies too. Tomorrow, tough day. We start to get out of it tomorrow night. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, like I said, clear, a drier day, and temperatures in the 30s, more like what we should be in February.
Adam Ginsberg is in the chat room, and he just posted something. You may have addressed this already, but I can't. Sometimes I can't remember if it was stuff we talked about off the air or on the air. Will it be the heavy heart attack type of snow tomorrow? We did say that might be possible, right? Depending on the.
Yeah, Adam has hit the nail on the head. Yes, a very heavy, wet snow, meaning that it's going to be easy to make a snowman or a snowball with no problem whatsoever there. It's not going to be that type of fluffy light snow where it blows around. And that's why we don't think we're going to have an issue tomorrow. I love the mayor's little palm tree there. I wish we were in Florida right now.
Yep.
Carol, Mayor Doyle, you do a tremendous job with the palm tree. You made me feel a lot better tonight. We're going to wish we're in Florida tomorrow when the storm comes through.
Yeah, imagine that. I gave up sunny Port St. Lucie, Florida, to move back to Kearney and Harrison. I mean, who does that? It's usually the other way around. You go from here to there. But I don't regret that. I won't say that much. Paul Haggerty is here with us, too, and he says that the MVC has a 2-hour delay in some towns and local governments. We mentioned to Tony off the air on the ticker, Kearney schools are closed, Harrison schools are closed, that we know of at this point. Dylan Sullivan is in the chat room, too. He can let us know in the chat room whether St. Peter's Prep is open or closed tomorrow. And I have a funny feeling that we're going to see a few more of those, right, Tone? More than likely.
Absolutely. And let me tell you something about Paul Haggerty there posted. He is a wealth of information. I know we worked together for years with the Jersey Coastal Emergency Services Unit, and they give us a ton of spotter reports, not only with the snowfall, with snow road condition reports that we pass along to the National Weather Service, but especially in severe weather season. A lot of that information, a lot of that spotter information comes from Paul and his group to make, especially in the springtime, severe thunderstorm warnings and this local storm report. So thank you, Paul, and your Jersey Coastal team for a fine job through many, many years. And sure, he'll be giving us information tomorrow, too. A great, great point of information and contact with him, Paul.
I will second that. And, Paul Haggerty is the third Paul Haggerty I've met in my lifetime. How is that possible, Tony? 3 Paul
Well, he's got a son, Paul. He's got a son, Paul Jr.
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. They'll make that 4 then. There's 2 in
Right.
Lyndhurst also. Did you know that? There's one who, Paul Haggerty is
Well,
a.
there's senior, there's
Yeah.
senior and there's junior
Yes.
that I
So,
know of, anyway.
yeah, exactly. So that's at least 4. There could be even more. I'm sure there are. So, we're
Right.
talking
I go
to.
all the way back with Paul since I was a senior in high school. That's how long I know Paul. And I'm
Wow.
60. And I just turned 60 years old.
You're the class
So
of what?
I just turned 60.
And what was your graduating class?
82.
82.
So I know
Okay.
Paul since like 80.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
unbelievable. Well, now you remind me here, not to sidetrack, but you got your appetite for weather predicting and forecasting while you were in high school, or was it before that?
Oh, Kev, I'll tell you something. First of all teachers, no matter who they are, to me are gold. Because without teachers, without the Harrison Public School System and my teachers like Deborah Ingenito, like Sandra Munchko, and the list of Diane Basso, and the list goes on and on. Without my teachers and without them pushing me to do well, we don't have the Harrison Weather Center today. We really don't. So I owe a debt of gratitude to the Harrison Public School System and also our teachers. Because if it wasn't for them, we don't have this.
That's right. Dylan Sullivan says, as of right now, St. Peter's Prep is open. However, there's strong talk of a closure for tomorrow. Prep better do the right thing and just close the doors so that they don't have to go out all the way into Jersey City. But we've always discussed this before. It's not necessarily about the travel for the kids, right? It's a lot about the travel that the teachers have to go through, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Working with some of this stuff through the years, I'll tell you, Tony, we're worried about getting our teachers in because our teachers are coming from all over the place, all over the state of New Jersey. I know teachers have come far as south as Brielle, New Jersey, and as far west into Morris County
Wow.
coming in.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So it's
So
better to
they
keep.
have a right.
Yeah. So now, this is a big day for you, big night. Are you going to sleep at all tonight, or what? Or tell me what tonight's going to be like.
Rest. It's really not going to be a good sleep, but yeah, you got to get a little cat nap here and there, especially when it's going to be turning to rain. When it's rain initially, and before it turns to snow. So yeah, you got to try and get a little bit of a cat nap. I've been going at it on and off all weekend. Now you see what's going to happen. The forecast is done. There's nothing else we can do. Nothing. It's out. You're not going to go down. You're not going. I think you're not going to go above 12. I don't think the storm doesn't have it in it. There's no modeling that has anything north of 12. Do I think we get to 12? I think maybe a 10% shot. If somebody said, Tony, what do you really think with the storm? 3 to 6 gets a little bit out of hand. You get maybe up to 8, and that's it. It's over. It's moving quick. It's been warm. So a lot of things have to happen to get those big numbers tomorrow. It's like almost hitting the pick. Was it the pick 3?
Right.
I don't even know because I don't even play the lottery. So I don't know.
If you're just joining us, Tony Mondaro, the longtime director of the Harrison Weather Center, is here with us. So we've got a nice crowd here with us today. I want to thank each and everybody here who's come by today. Does his shirt say "Let It Snow"? Is that
Yes.
Yes, it does. Very nice. Okay, now Adam is hoping for the complete opposite because he's had a leaky roof that he's waiting to get repaired. So I know he doesn't want any precipitation, but I think a lot of other people are hoping for the snow, right, Tom?
I'll tell you something though. I don't want to make Adam more concerned, but heavy wet snow on a leaky roof is not good.
Oh God,
So
I didn't.
you
Yeah,
got to be careful. That heavy wet snow is going to take its toll. You start weighing down stuff, you start having problems. Because that snow's going to be very, very heavy. There. Melanie was saying some of the teachers come from Sussex County.
Yeah. Yeah, my mother lives in Newton in Sussex. I think they're going to they're looking at a little higher total too, from what I could tell, if it's accurate, right?
Well, they were, but a lot that's starting to sink down to our area now. That the snow zone coming down more into our neck of the woods through the metropolitan area. let's see, Kevin, while we're on, if we have anybody has any questions,
So far there haven't. The questions have been asked already. It's a lot of comments, but everybody's of course. Carol Jean, the mayor of Kearney, just said be cautious driving and stay home if you can. Can you address that for us? Why do people feel the need to get out and drive with these two-wheel drive cars that slip slide all over the place when it's snowing out? What would your recommendation be?
Like I said earlier, if you don't have to travel tomorrow, I would. And I'm sure, Kev, you may know this. My nose has been in weather maps all day. Do you know if Carol can tell us, has the governor declared yet for tomorrow?
There is a state of emergency, and I shouldn't say a state of emergency, but commercial vehicles are banned on most highways throughout the state, other than the Turnpike and the Parkway. But those travel bans are in effect on Route 80, 280, 287, the usual suspects. So I would imagine that's probably a state. I don't know. Would you say that's a state of emergency when that happens with the travel ban, or is one not contingent on the other, Tony?
I believe there has to be something like that. Maybe, Paul, if you're on, if you can chime in, or somebody there in the know, maybe law enforcement, if there is a state of emergency up there, would help us out. I'm not sure, Kev. I want to give no snow in Tom's River, Linda says. I hear you, Linda. Last time I checked the Seaside camera, look at this for precip. Seaside Heights on Earth Cam has a beautiful, beautiful camera down. I think it was a little mist or drizzles, but Tom's River area, I don't think it's going to get too much. If you get a coating to an inch, that's going to be a lot, especially east of the Parkway. Anybody gets more than that, be west of the Parkway, like around Jackson. And the mayor says nothing. Nobody's been notified of a state of emergency yet.
Yeah. Of course, she's in the Florida Keys right now, so I don't. She's probably not as worried as we might be necessarily. No, I'm kidding. Of course, she's worried, being in the Keys, but she picked a good time to take her first vacation as mayor, right?
We need to talk to Mayor Doyle because, I think she, besides Melanie, the deputy, I think she also needs assistance, especially with the weather and the report on her vacation. She should have took us with her.
Right, exactly. I would have gone. She probably just forgot to remind us that that's where we were supposed to be going, but that's okay. We'll get over that. Frida Goldman is asking, how would I bike my way to work on the future greenway in a foot of snow? That's another thing that wasn't ever discussed. Probably better save for another day, but that's going to be an interesting perspective if that greenway is built. How they're going to clear that out, right?
Are you reading Frida's tag there? Congratulations, Frida, on your little tag there, what you had in the upper left.
Is that classic? I pooped today. We got to put that back up on the screen. Frida she's classic. Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? Oh, my goodness. So,
and when you have something serious like this, Kev, it's nice to come on and have a little fun, too,
Seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see everything's going like crazy in the background. I got every phone off the hook, so we're not disturbed, with phones ringing off the hook.
Yes.
It's a busy night here. Hi, Linda. How are you? And thank you. She says we're the best.
Yes, she's half right. That's definitely good for you. That's for sure, right? Paul Haggerty had a good point, too. Visit NJ511NJ.org. That's a good resource for people. There's a lot of cameras that are out there also for people to see what the traffic conditions are like. So, very good point on Paul's end, right, Tony?
Absolutely, and temperatures are ready, Kevin, down to 41 degrees here across the area.
Unbelievable. So it's starting to drop. That's what I'm looking at. My thermometer from outside in Harrison. It says 43, but look at this thing. You think I really should be using this as my guide for what the temperature is? It's got to.
I think it's pretty accurate for being pointed in the sun all day.
Right. Oh man. So all right, let's as we work our way out today, Tony. Maybe just a summary. One last time for anybody who may just be joining us. What should we look for tonight and tomorrow?
All right. Rain starts, folks, later this evening by midnight. Be spreading in from the south. You need to do anything in the overnight hours, you're fine. Just wet roads. transitions over to snow by mid-morning tomorrow, starts mixing 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock. It'll be mixed precipitation mid to late morning into the early afternoon. It's the heaviest part of the storm. We're thinking a minimum of 3 up to 6. However, if that snow zone, that heavy snow zone sits over the area for any amount of time for tomorrow, I think we're going to have an issue with snow totals north of 6 inches. And how are you going to know that? By 10, 11 noon tomorrow, if it's snowing very, very heavy, we're accumulating quickly. We're in for some trouble with the higher amounts possibly being realized. Also, I would pay attention to the roads tomorrow. I think for those who have to travel early, you get in, but maybe coming home might be a different story. And if you don't have to travel tomorrow, don't. Probably the best thing. And also, be very, very careful tomorrow. Don't go up on your roof and try and shovel the snow off because it's real heavy. Don't go out there if you're elderly. Or a lot of these towns have snow shovelers that will come and shovel your sidewalk. Just call your local DPW, not the police, but the DPW to see if they have that service to help you. Sometimes they have the volunteer kids come around. Don't play with this. This is very heavy snow. It can cause a lot of problems, especially if you have health issues. And of course, check with your pets too that are outside. Don't get them outside in that cold. And try to give them a little bit of shelter, especially those outdoor pets that have a hard time in weather like this.
My friend, thank you so much for doing this tonight. And we'll see how things go tomorrow. We'll regroup, and if there's any need for updates or a recap, we will certainly be with you tomorrow, correct?
Right. We'll have any tangible, coherent updates tonight on our Facebook. Of course, folks, if you have any questions, and also those who follow me on Facebook who are here tonight and leave all those tremendous, wonderful comments, thank you very much. It makes it all worthwhile. Some people are very, very nice with the thank yous and, thanks for all your hard work and trying to be accurate. I know I'm, out of the 4 situations this year, I'm batting 500. So, we're 2 for 4. Hopefully we can improve it a little bit better. And all I look for is to try to get it right, some verification. And it's not the end of the world, folks. We're going to be okay. It's not going to snow for 2 or 3 days. We're not going to have 1 to 2 feet. It'll be a pain in the neck for 24 hours, and then we're out of it. But be careful and be safe tonight. And Kevin, as always, thank you for the opportunity. Because of you and your efforts at the Observer newspaper, we're able to give this information out to the public, out to the residents, out to the people out in the area for local weather information for our area, not New York City, not Philadelphia, not Pennsylvania, but our area. And I really deeply appreciate that. We'll be on this for everybody overnight.
As you always are, Tony Mondaro, my friend. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good night. I hope you get a couple of wings tonight. Thank you, brother.
Me too. Thank you, sir.
All right, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow at some point. Everybody stay safe. And don't forget, Tony mentioned it. Check out his Facebook page, facebook.com/harrison.weather.1. And at theobserver.com, we'll have updates as necessary. Good night, everybody.